Hi, welcome back. This is going to be lesson 2. So today we are going to review the parts of the violin and bow. I'm going to remind you how to tighten your horsehair, just like we talked about last week. And then I'm also going to be going over how to hold your violin today and some exercises that you can do at home. So first, I already have my violin out. So I'm just gonna go over the parts of the violin, and then I'm gonna go over the parts of the bow, okay? So I'm gonna start here. We have the strings. This black piece here is the fingerboard, because that's where we're gonna put our fingers. We have the head or the scroll of the violin. It almost sounds like scroll, but it's scroll. We have the tuning pegs, which tune the strings. We also have something else, which is more for beginners or intermediate players. This is the fine tuner. So some violins have 1 like mine, but some violins have 4. So especially for beginners, this is a good tool for you to use to eventually tune your strings. We have sound holes, so that's where the sound comes out of. Inside the violin, we have the sound post. We have our tailpiece, which is connected to the end button right here. We have our chin rest. Remember the chin rest? It's called that because that's where we're gonna put our chin down like this, okay? We have the bridge, the front of the violin, the back of the violin, the neck, the sides or the ribs, and then I talked about last week, you can get a shoulder rest or coon rest to give you that support. If you don't have that, what I would recommend is to get a dry sponge, and then you would take 2 rubber bands and just wrap it around, so the sponge is going to just sit right on your collarbone, so it will give you that support. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the bow, the parts of the bow, and then just remind you how we tighten the horsehair. So we have the stick of the bow. This is like the middle part of the bow. The tip, which is right here. The frog right here is the finger grip, because that's where our fingers are gonna go. The screw and the horsehair. So remember, when I'm ready to play, I'm going to tighten my screw to the right, like this. So now I'm gonna be showing you how to hold the violin. So when we first start, you wanna hold it for about 30 seconds, take a break, do a minute, and then take a break, and really continue to do that until it doesn't hurt anymore. You're just building up that strength. Once you've built up that strength, then we can start playing. So the next lesson, I'm gonna be introducing how to play just on the violin, just basic things just to get the sound out. Okay, so when we play the violin, we're gonna be playing on the left side. So it's gonna get some used to if you're left-handed or right-handed, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift my head all the way up, put it on the chin rest like so, and then just put it down like this, okay? And if you see, my thumb is sitting right against the fingerboard like this, and then my wrist is completely out. We don't want the wrist touching the violin at all, okay? Because when we start playing, it's gonna get in the way. All right, so when we play, we're only gonna be using our index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Our thumb is just gonna sit against the violin, okay? So again, I'm just gonna hold it like so. And when you're holding the violin, think about some other things. For example, favorite type of food, what movies you like, just to get yourself distracted. Okay? All right. I'm going to go ahead and set that down. So now I'm going to show you how to hold the bow. Okay? So what you want to do is you're going to take your right hand, your right thumb is going to go right here, and you're going to bend it. So, like that. And then your pinky, you're going to bend like this. And the rest of the fingers are just going to fall down like this. So really the thumb and pinky are the most important. Okay? And so we're going to do a couple exercises with the bow just to build up our strength. So the first exercise we're going to do is called a windshield wiper. Okay? So the reason why it's called that is just I'm just moving my bow back and forth like so. Okay? And you want to try to do it as slow as you can. Because if you do it fast, it's not really building up that strength. So slow, like this. Okay. So now we're going to do what's called a spider crawl, where we're going to take all 5 fingers on our right hand and we're going to climb up the bow and then just bring our hand back down. And that's just building up your strength in your fingers. So there's no raise, so you want to go as slowly as possible. So I'm taking all my fingers like this, and I'm literally just climbing up the bow till I get to the top. If you touch the horsehair a little bit, it's okay. As long as you're just doing it on accident, because like I said, we don't want to get the horsehair dirty. So I'm going all the way to the top, like so. And then I would do this about 5 times a day. So like I said, you're just building up that strength, like so. And again, it's not a race. You're just building up your fingers. Okay? Okay. So now I want to show you how we're going to hold the violin and bow together. So this is something you want to practice this week. So again, my violin's going to go on my left hand side of my body. My chin's going to go down like so. And even for extra support, you can take your left hand and just place it right here. Okay? So if you feel like you can do this, that's great. But if you feel more comfortable, keep your hand here. And then I have my bow. So my thumb is bent, my pinky's bent. Okay? So I'm not even going to play. I'm just keeping my bow like this. This is called a straight bow. We don't want to do this because that's a crooked bow. So we're just keeping out. So I'm going to turn my body so you can see my right arm. It's almost in an L shape. So if I do this, it's not an L shape anymore. Okay? So that is a crooked bow. So you want to hold it out just like this, nice and straight. And your goal this week is to try to hold this for a minute and then take a break. Okay? All right. So the next lesson that I'm going to be posting, we're going to actually be playing. Okay? So we're going to be talking about the strings, what they're called, and I'm going to be doing a special rhythm on those strings. So for those who don't know, a rhythm means to keep a beat. So at the next lesson, we're going to again review the parts of the violin and bow, really important. We're going to practice holding the violin and bow, and then we're going to be playing on the violin, which is really exciting. Before I go, I just want to remind you that you want to still practice putting the rosin on your bow. Okay, so again, this is the brand that I use, and any brand is fine. And even though we haven't started playing, next week we will. So we want to just get used to practicing it. So I'm holding the rosin in my left hand and I'm pressing in with my bow. Okay, you will not hurt the bow. You just want to put some pressure on, because if you don't put enough pressure on, the rosin will not come off. Okay, and when I'm done, I'm going to check my horsehair, and I'm going to show you how I know, okay? So I'm going to take my index finger. I'm going to start here at the frog, and you see I have white stuff on my index finger. That's just telling me that I have enough rosin. So I'm wiping my fingers so the rosin comes off, so then now I can check the middle of the bow. So I'm going to check the middle. I have some white stuff, but not enough, so that's just telling me I need to put more rosin on my bow. So I'm going to wipe my fingers one more time, and then I'm going to go at the tip. Okay, so it's just telling me I have rosin at the middle and the tip, but I could put a little bit more. So again, when I see you next time, we're going to go over the parts of the violin and the bow. We're going to review holding the violin and the bow, and then we're going to play on it. As always, if you have any questions, please comment below, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.